Today I'm going to be working on the bass line, specifically the velocity of certain notes, because it's not quite accentuating the driving, rolling feeling that I was hoping to get. So if we have a listen to this bass sound here, you can hear that it's this note and this note and this note and this note that really make this driving, but because we're using the velocity range, we're not really getting too much oomph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get really quite fine tuning on this and quite detailed. I'm going to bring the velocity range down to 0 for all of these, and then I'm going to select these notes here and I'm going to drag the velocity up, and I'm even going to extend the velocity range up to the highest value for those. So that should give us a bit of emphasis. Let's have a listen. I chose the wrong note here. This is not supposed to be the one, so we'll put that back to 0. This is the one that needs to go up and bring the range up. Okay, that's sounding quite good. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I would like to be able to have some reverb come in on the high end as the velocity is up. I don't think we can do that in Diva. I don't think we can attach the velocity to the effects. Can we? I don't think there's any kind of matrix here. Modifications, VCO filter feedback, trimmers, scope, presets. No, I don't think we can. If you think we can, let me know in the comments, but it doesn't really matter. What we can do is we can be a bit clever, and let's introduce one more wavetable into this mix here. Very good, we'll make it a saw. Let's bring the polyphony down to one voice, bring the release all the way back on the amp envelope. Let's bring the frequency all the way down, and let's apply the velocity to the filter frequency. We don't need it on the amp because we're just wanting an open sounding saw on those high velocity notes, so we'll bring that up to 100. A little bit of res. It doesn't really matter because it's instant and there's no envelope involved here. Now if we were to add a reverb, and I'll use the hybrid reverb, whoops. Okay, so that needs to go back here. And we'll use a convolution, so blend 100. Let's go for halls. Let's bring the size right down. Let's bring the dry wet up to 100 because I just want the reverb to come through. Okay, let's bring the decay down to maybe 3 seconds, 3000 milliseconds. Shorter. We could bring the amp down, the decay and the sustain. No. So let's have a listen to that now with the other stuff. I feel like in these notes here, in the bass loop, I should rename this to bass one. I feel like these ones here need to come down a bit. And let's bring the velocity range down to maybe here. Even down a bit more. Let's listen with the kick. Makes it a lot more proggy. We could even get a bit shorter with this reverb. Try the size. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's put a compressor after it, and we will sidechain this from the original sound. So we'll take it from the bass track and we'll go for instrument rack high pre-effects. We need a very short attack and release, high ratio, bring the threshold down. Now it's a very busy loop. Obviously the 16th notes are extending out for the whole duration of their time, so we could probably play around with the shortness. Let's try them all at once for a start. I'll tell you what, I'll make them short and extend them out. So this one needs to be long. Maybe this could be short and high. Maybe not. I feel like every second note we should make long. So just holding down the shift key to select multiple clips here. Maybe. I feel like perhaps we need to go into the high ends and shorten the decay on the envelopes. A little bit of attack to get rid of the click. Let's go for this one. I'll do the same. Now we should be able to shorten this even more, this reverb. It's getting very small, but that's okay. I can bring the volume right down. What if I turn this off and give it a unison instead? What if we go up an octave? No, I think we just stick with the reverb. And we need to go down the octave. Maybe we could give it a little bit of an envelope on the filter frequency. We need to bring the amount down here on the velocity, kind of sharing it between the envelope and the velocity. We also, envelope 2 needs to have, okay, bring the velocity up a bit more. And the EQ is doing a good job at getting rid of the subs there, so we don't need to put an EQ8 in there. Okay, now this sub is going a bit crazy. Sounds terrible, actually. Okay, let's try something a bit different. I'm going to mute the sub. And I'm going to create a new sub track. Like so. We'll call this sub. And with this, we will just have sub notes on the those prominent notes, these ones here. So, what are we on? D sharp, okay. Like that. We'll just see how that sounds for now. Bring these down to the right octave. And we will give this an operator. Am I on the right note? No, I'm not. Maybe we could have a long note like this. And we need to sidechain this from the kick, of course. Compressor, whoops, not a chorus. You don't want to put a chorus on a low sine wave. And compressor, here we go. I'll take this from the kick. I think I might even make these all a little bit longer, just a little bit. Still not sure about this. Let's try getting rid of the compressor. We could bring it down and bring the volume back up. That's interesting. So changing the amp decay and sustain, we've almost got a rhythmical element happening now. Kind of like that. Maybe not. Anyway, let's explore this in the next video.